It seems like they're everywhere you turn. Every single day they invade the headlines. Another half-wit criminal with a half-baked scheme. Another social media simpleton going viral. Another Florida man stretching the bounds of stupidity. Or another pack of SJWs throwing a temper tantrum. And that's not even the worst of it. From the empty talking heads on the cable news channels, to the humorless hacks in Hollywood, to the pea-brain politicians pulling the puppet strings, everywhere you look, there's another idiot telling you how to live your life.
Like, people should be able to, like, eat what they want, do what they want.
Absolutely not.
I mean, it's not like he's going out there in his campaign ads like, Joe Biden is a reptile man.
He keeps the streets of Gotham City much safer than Commissioner Gordon, but he doesn't wear a badge because Batman doesn't have to follow any rules.
You know, all the kids started ganging up on him and calling him a little googly-eyed, chicken-pants jelly boy.
Oh, I say the N-word all the time now. You know, I just go out on the strip and I scream it.
You say a succubus?
Whoa, Reverend.
A succubus? You don't know what a succubus is. You mean you're talking like Cardi? Like Cardi B? I heard she got that wop.
Well, Jay and Anissa have had enough. Armed with clever satire, madcap humor, and the craziest cast of characters in podcasting, they're lining up and taking aim at the world of stupidity every single week. Because it is time to go to war. The War on Morons.
It is Tuesday, January 26, 2021, and this is episode 65 of The War on Morons. I'm Jay.
And I'm Anissa. Welcome to Moron America, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
I'm sorry, we're really going to start the show like that?
Yeah, why not?
What the fuck? Was that a Hunger Games reference?
Come on, I mean, I thought it was appropriate.
Oh, yeah, no, come on, this is a comedy podcast. This isn't a presidential inauguration.
Oh, my mistake.
No, we don't do that kind of mockery here.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you thought Super Bowl halftime shows were weird.
I mean, they steal one election, at least one that we know about, and then they got the gall to, they got a pill-poppin pop star, and she was cosplaying. I mean, I haven't seen this movie, but as far as I know, this is a movie villain that she was cosplaying as. And
cosplay at the presidential inauguration. That's where we're at, people.
They just they trot her out there to butcher the national anthem into a golden microphone in front of like a smattering of war criminals and like billionaire celebrities. Like,
you know, I gotta say, it's almost like they're trying to send us a message of some sort.
You know, yeah, I think the message is that the odds are no longer in our favor.
Maybe not.
But yeah, congratulations to the liberal elite. Not for the stolen election. Fuck you for that. But congratulations for graduating from one young adult series, one young adult fiction series to another, because at least it wasn't a Harry Potter reference for once.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, they didn't have a Battle of the Capitol in Harry Potter like they did in the Hunger Games.
You know,
so
if they did, I guarantee she would have come out there dressed as fucking Voldemort or whatever.
Oh, my God. I mean, look, we're not talking about somebody who's capable of subtlety here. We're talking about Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga, the high priestess of the Moron Administration, you know? Well, what a way to kick things off, by the way. I mean, like, you know, for the next 4 months, or however long this idiot lasts before he gets the hook, you know, for the hooker, I think we should just refer to it that way.
What, the Moron Administration?
Yeah, the Moron Administration.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically a drooling imbecile. I mean, give him credit. You know, they always talk about equality. They always talk about equity. I mean, at least they're walking the walk, because he is the first. Wait, let me try to be politically correct here. He's the
Since
first.
When did we do that?
Well, you know, I don't want to be offensive to people that actually have mental retardation. So,
okay.
Yeah, Joe Biden, because I actually respect people that have mental retardation. I don't respect Joe Biden.
Fair.
He's the first special needs president.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So, let's enjoy the ride. It's honestly, I was worried at this point. I'm not worried. This has been really fucking funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've been seeing this, but I don't know if our listeners have. If you've been watching Lefty Twitter, 1 week in, we're noticing a lot of people are already wanting off this ride. Can you believe it?
I mean, I don't want to say I told her so, but I told her so.
I told her so.
Like Ricky, what's that? No, but actually, I do kind of want to say I told her so, but they restricted our Twitter account.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well,
I mean, it's almost like you literally dared them for an hour and a half last week.
Look, I was trying to make a point. They kind of surprised me though. I mean, last show, they let me call Michelle Obama a tranny for the entire show last week. Crickets. But Chelsea Handler, Chelsea Handler, so-called comedian.
Is she still relevant?
No. But she literally, I don't know if you saw this, she literally went on Twitter and flashed her bare middle-aged tits for Biden.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I comment...
She is way past the age to where that would be fun for him.
Right. So I go on there and I comment, you're about 40 years too old for him, you cheap whore.
Wow, read my mind.
I think that's an accurate statement.
I
Cheap
think
whore,
almost anybody would say that.
I mean, yeah, and 40 years too old. Yeah, well, boom, 2 weeks suspension for that, for hate speech.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't Chelsea Handler basically tell an entire race of people that they're required to vote the way she wants them to? Isn't that, also hate speech in a way?
That's a pretty good point. I didn't even think of that. I was speaking out of compassion. Look, Joe Biden's a pedophile, lady. He ain't walking through that door.
All right.
Unless you're 5 years old. He don't want them old titties.
Okay. We're getting way off track here. I was actually going to tell you about all these Biden voters asking for answers about why he's doing all of the things he promised to do during the entire campaign. So there's all these incredible tweets and Facebook posts like, I just found out that Biden is blocking the oil pipeline and that he's going to ban fracking. My husband is freaking out because he's going to lose his job. How are we going to put food on the table? Why would they do this to us? It doesn't make sense.
Gee, I mean, I don't know, Susan. Maybe because your husband can't give him any kickbacks.
Oh, here's a good one. I just heard Biden reversed an executive order to reduce insulin and EpiPen prices. It's a life-saving hormone. If people can't afford it, how are they going to survive?
Would you shut up, man? I don't work for you. I work for the pharmaceutical people.
Oh, yeah, of course. And here's a classic. My biggest fear of a Biden presidency was foreign policy. In just 3 days, he's authorizing troop escalation in Iraq and Syria. I did not vote for this. Did you?
I mean, did they miss the part about blocking the oil pipeline? I mean, it's got to come from somewhere, dumbass.
Oh, my God.
Jeez. All of those things are not a surprise.
No, they're not.
It's almost like they weren't paying attention.
It's almost like the sources where they got their information from were lying to them and hiding things from them the entire campaign.
Don't get your news from the New York Times. Don't get your news from fucking NBC, CNN. I'm telling you, it might have sounded crazy a couple years ago, but those are all pure propaganda. They're nonsense. Get your news from the War on Morons.
That's right.
Get your news from Hameen Media Group.
That's right.
Get your news from the Conspiracy Horsemen. At least we tell you the fucking truth,
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to end up like these folks. I mean, here's from the official blue checkmark Black Lives Matter Twitter account. If you want to end up like them, maybe do it the other way. Here's what they tweeted.
Okay.
I'm starting to get a feeling that the Democratic Party used us.
Are you now? Are you think? Well, gird your loins. Gird your loins, sucker. Wait till Officer Harris takes the helms. Then they're really gonna.
Then they're gonna find out. They're gonna learn something.
Jesus Christ!
And don't even get me started on all the people complaining that he doesn't have a plan for COVID.
Oh,
Mr. Donald Trump should be doing more about COVID. Doesn't have a plan for COVID.
Yeah, one day, what's it been a week? It's like he rolled out
It hasn't even been a week yet. He was sworn in on Wednesday, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, I guess it's basically been a week. But, like, one day he rolls out Fauci. And Fauci's like, here's the deal, it's almost over. COVID's basically over. It's all gonna get back to normal. And then the very next day, Biden comes out there and he's like, never mind, man. There's no plan. There's nothing we can do. Nothing's gonna change. I think he said 600,000 people are gonna die. It's a clown show. It's
why
hilarious.
didn't he incorporate that into his campaign, I wonder?
I wish he did. I mean, not that it would have changed anything, because we all know...
Mr. Long Dark Winter.
Actually, I guess he did. Yeah. Anyway, this is getting into quite a bit of an intro, so let's just move it on. If we keep talking about all the stupid shit they've done in week one, we're going to be here all night.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because while we do have a bunch of great politics block to start off with, we also have some really weird, dumb criminal news, a bunch of stupid celebrity stuff, not just Chelsea Handler, and a bunch of hilarious headlines from all over the board.
Yeah, I might even have some time for some Florida man before we're all said and done. So.
Does Trump count now?
Well, shit, now he might. I think he's legitimately Florida man now.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently they're talking about he might run for Congress.
Buckle up.
Anyway, you can call into the show tonight as always. The number is 813-906-9099. Catch us live on the air or leave us a voicemail. We'll play it when it airs on Tuesday at hamimediagroup.podbean.com. Or, of course, hit us up on social media. We're running out of places on social media. We're playing whack-a-mole over there because we are getting spicy. But the best place to find us is on MeWe. Now with nearly 600 followers, growing every day. Great content posted, like almost hourly some days. And of course, streaming all over the place. YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, DLive, wherever.
Wherever you look, you can find Morons. But enough of that. Let's get into the stack of stupidity.
All right. So I'll start things off, and not to go backward or anything, but speaking of YouTube, did you see our new dear leader get ratioed out of fucking existence the other day? Mm-hmm. This was great. So the guy they're trying to convince has got the most presidential votes of all time. I think he's up to 81 million and counting. Supposedly,
we're still counting.
Yeah, it's almost February, and they just keep adding votes somehow. Well, apparently those votes don't translate over to the internet because over on the White House's official YouTube page, his virtual inauguration garnered barely a few 100,000 views.
Ouch. Okay, well. Yeah. Maybe they should have had PewDiePie sing the anthem. I don't know.
There's an image. I wonder what he would have dressed up like. Actually,
probably Lady Gaga.
I'm not even gonna get into that. So, honestly, I'm not gonna drag Biden for his view count. I mean that shit's hard enough. I mean, we know. Plus it was the time slot's hard. It's noon. It's a Wednesday. People have better shit to do. They're at work. Trump left him with a great economy. But one thing that they can't make excuses for is the likes ratio.
Huh.
So everybody who watched this video on the official White House YouTube page, everybody hates this guy. So at one point, it was running literally like 50,000 dislikes to 10,000 likes.
Wow. Okay, so you mean to tell me, I'm just spitballing here, they couldn't find any dead people or illegal immigrants with a YouTube account?
Right? Like, just dominion that shit, you know?
Right.
Like, I mean, it doesn't look good when you got your most your most popular presidential candidate of all time, and he's got a 5-to-1 negative like ratio.
I mean, I don't know who the CEO of YouTube is, but I mean, can't they find the Jack Dorsey equivalent and just, doctor some shit up?
Right. But they probably should, because the ratio isn't even the end of the story. That actually pales in comparison to the comment section.
Oh boy, I can only imagine how that went. I mean, maybe YouTube commenters ought to have electoral votes in 2024.
Jesus Christ, can you imagine? Honestly, fuck it. They probably should. Let's go full clown world. Because at least the YouTube commentators aren't afraid to call it like it is. If by call it like it is, you mean call Joe Biden a pedophile and a Chinese agent.
Spicy.
At his own fake inauguration. Literally, that is what every single comment, pretty much every single comment was like, hey, quit fucking kids, you Chinese spy.
Listen, if you can't take a heckler, don't get on the stage. If you can't take an angry comment section, maybe don't steal a national election. Right? I don't know.
Well, it turns out they couldn't take that either because it got so bad that YouTube has actually had to start removing downvotes. And the White House has disabled comments on its official channel. It's actually unlisted videos now, to where you have to have the URL just to even see them.
Wow.
And apparently this, it doesn't sound like a big deal in the face of it.
It sounds like a big deal.
It does sound like kind of a big deal.
Sounds like kind of like suppression of the voters of the country.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just a YouTube channel, right? Well, according to some constitutional experts, this may actually be a violation of the First Amendment.
Wow, things are off to a great start.
Yeah, day one shit, You're shitting his pants from day one. Probably literally.
Probably both.
Yeah, probably both.
Speaking of the riveting inauguration, while the doors, or rather 12-foot-high steel cages, were closed off to regular people like us, members of the privileged class, like Hollywood actors, pop singers, and millionaire politicians, were there by the dozens.
Was there anybody there who's, not a psychopath?
Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks. I'm pretty sure that I saw on 8chan that Tom Hanks eats babies like barbecue chicken.
Okay, well, let's just leave that aside.
Oh, I'm just saying. There's a whole thing where, if you look at his Instagram, he leaves a picture of a glove, or Tom Hanks underground clones. You gotta Q.
Little creepy.
Q, yeah.
Little creepy, but
17. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me. Bill Clinton was there.
I'm glad you brought him up because that actually surprised me that he was there, because Q actually told me that Bill Clinton died back in December. So that's weird. They brought a dead body out to the inauguration.
As ridiculous as that is, the former president is getting roasted online because he fell asleep almost as soon as Biden started speaking on Wednesday. They've been propping Biden up for months now with, I don't even know what, probably Adderall and dementia meds.
They probably just give him straight meth.
They couldn't give Bill Clinton some?
Can you blame him for falling asleep, really? Think of all the places that Bill Clinton would rather be. Little St. James Island, Jeffrey Epstein's plane, Aretha Franklin's funeral, staring at Ariana Grande's ass.
Yeah, instead he had to sit next to that crone listening to a far less accomplished pedophile.
Boring! Fuck that. You know what probably would have waken him up, though?
Adrenochrome.
Probably. But since Lady Gaga, did you see Lady Gaga? I know we made fun of her outfit, but she was fucking high on something. She was probably. She was probably backstage with Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
He was there. I think all of them. Jesus. Anyway, we're getting way off track.
Yeah.
Way off track.
I thought you were going somewhere with this.
Yeah, I was going to say, what would have woken Bill Clinton up would have been if he had actually turned off Sleepy Joe's inauguration, maybe taken out his cell phone, and turned on Black Lives Matter's official video from the day before, from Martin Luther King Day.
Oh. Yeah,
I think it would have perked him right up, because it was called Twerk on Washington.
I'm sorry, twerk on Washington?
Yes, you heard that right. The official verified BLM Instagram account, it turned quite a few heads last week. They put out a video that Bill Clinton would have loved. It was some chick in Stars and Stripes booty shorts shaking her ass all across D.C. She was at the Washington Monument. She was at the National Mall, the Lincoln Memorial, even at the World War II Memorial, just twerking away.
I have no problem with twerking as a concept. If you want to go to the club and twerk, that's fine. where I'm having trouble, very specifically, is that they made a twerk video for Martin Luther King.
Yes.
At war memorials, where they honored like soldiers who had died.
No, they were honoring Martin Luther King.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Still not following. Can't quite put the pieces together here.
Well, let me help you out here. So BLM described the video as part of the quote decolonization of over-sexualizing black women's bodies.
But they did that by making a war memorial look like a 2 Live Crew video. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, maybe this is what MLK was talking about in that speech. I'll have a dream where one day a young sister could shake her ass on a monument to the fallen dead. And nobody will tell her to go away because they don't want to be called a racist on Twitter.
Oh my God, this is...
Y'all might not make it to the mountaintop with me. But you can watch her shake her ass cheeks.
We live in a dystopian hellscape, and there's no way to get around that, but you do have to give them credit. In really divided times, I mean, truly, I mean, I don't think we've ever been more divided as a nation, save for the Civil War. They did find a way to offend pretty much everyone.
Pretty much everyone.
This is offensive to everyone, both sides.
You know, I think even Joe Biden wouldn't like this video. You know, he'd pull it up and be like, "Come on, man. You know, what's with this chick in this video, man? She's too old. And she's black."
Well, okay. Speaking of the perversion of national monuments, did you see that Joe Biden at the Lincoln Memorial the other day?
Oh, okay. He was at the Lincoln Memorial, too.
Yeah.
Let me guess. He was doing the Charleston.
No. This was his first day as president.
Oh, boy.
Just hours after signing an incredible 17 executive orders, including a mandate that forces Americans to wear masks on all federal property. Now, of course, that would include the Lincoln Memorial, right?
Yeah.
Federal property, Lincoln Memorial, right? Okay, so follow me here. Old Joe and the Biden family did show up there that same day, and get this, not a single one of them are wearing masks.
There we go. That's all we need. Lock them up, impeach them. I mean, that's how it works, right?
He doesn't have a plan.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can believe that they actually asked his new press secretary about this the next day.
I'm surprised that they didn't just ask, you know, what flavor of ice cream he was thinking about while he was there.
It's shocking. Now, to be fair, she had a really great excuse for why Biden wasn't following his own stupid rule.
I can think of one. He's senile. He doesn't even know where he is at any given time, let alone at that time. He doesn't remember what he was fucking signed. He admitted as such.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I mean, I'm sure that would go over great, you know, really. I mean, the press secretary can't come up with a better answer than, "Oh, yes, well, the president actually has advanced dementia. You've seen him. That motherfucker doesn't even know what his name is half the time. Cut him some slack." But no, she actually did say that he was celebrating.
Celebrating?
Yes.
Well, shit. You know, I wish I knew it was that easy.
I know. I would have been celebrating all year.
All those thousands and thousands of businesses that got shut down, you know, because of these ridiculous lockdowns last year, you know, they should have been celebrating something.
I mean,
anything.
Look, last year you could get out of anything by protesting.
Right.
This year it's celebrating. So jot that down. At least we have the answer in January. That should hold up for all of 2021. Side note. Did you see that they kicked all the National Guardsmen out of the Capitol and made them sleep in a cold, dark parking garage because one of them got caught in a Dunkin' Donuts without a mask on?
Yeah, but not to worry. Fake Dr. Jill Biden, she came out, brought him a couple baskets of cookies. You know, 25,000 troops shivered in a parking lot catching coronavirus, but she brought him a cookie. You know.
And Joe Biden still gets to sleep in the White House. Amazing.
I bet he wakes up every morning and he has no fucking idea why he's there. He's just like, whoa, what do I do? Hey, I'm at Barack's for a sleepover. Oh man, I hope we got lots of pizza and hot dogs.
Oh my god. I honestly, I can't believe that it's so stupid. stupid. Like, you've got 25,000 troops, and what, you're going to just prance out there with 24 cookies for a photo op?
I don't care if she brought plenty for the whole, like, group. Like, it's pretty insulting.
It is pretty insulting. Although, to give her some credit, I'm sure at least she wore a mask.
Yeah, of course she wore a mask. She doesn't. She probably thinks they're disgusting. She doesn't want to catch their germs.
Oh my god.
Well, not to worry. I'm sure they're going to send them to fucking Iraq, like, next week.
Right.
As far away as they can get them, just so they don't spread their asymptomatic COVID germs. They'll send them to Fallujah.
Oh Jesus. Maybe they can get a cot in a pot over there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, in the meantime, I saw that that Trump opened up the Trump Hotel. Like, you barely hear a word from Trump these days, but I saw that he was able to get a little shade in there. He's like, oh yeah, just open up my fancy fucking 5-star hotel in D.C. Yeah, I got plenty of room. Yeah, let the troops stay there. But what you don't got a hotel, Joe? You don't got a hotel for?
It's almost like he's American.
Almost.
Wow, one person that Trump isn't reaching out to help is Joe Exotic, who's serving a 22-year sentence for a murder-for-hire plot. Apparently, the Tiger King himself spent the waning days of the Trump presidency with a stretch limo parked outside his prison, along with hair, makeup, and wardrobe people on standby, just on the off chance that the Donald decided to extend a presidential pardon.
And, like, what? Why the fuck would he do that?
Maybe he thinks he watched Tiger King. He's a big fan.
Okay, like, all the more reason, like, let's say he had watched Tiger King, like, all the more reason to ask, why the fuck would he want to do that? Like, yeah, that's the guy that I want to release back into society. Like an unhinged lunatic with a meth problem, a big cat fetish, and a small arsenal. Like, just open the prison doors.
You know what? Maybe he figured that this was a revenge scheme. Maybe Joe, it was like, you know what? I've learned a lot of lessons from my previous failed murder-for-hire plot. Maybe Donald Trump will want to take somebody else out. So maybe he should just let me out so I can go do that for him.
I mean, the only way this could make sense...
First it was Carol Baskin. Now he's got bigger fish to fry.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it's an opportunity missed. Trump could just point him at Hillary. You just say, hey, look, that's Carol Baskin. She got a makeover.
Seriously, though, he wouldn't even free Julian Assange, but the motherfucking Tiger King is going to get a pardon. I mean, I know the guy's psychotic, but damn.
Yeah, well, I mean, the pardons didn't make a whole lot of sense. Fucking Lil Wayne gets a pardon.
Lil Wayne got a pardon?
Yeah, Trump loves the rappers. He loves the rappers, but no Julian Assange.
Wow.
And no Joe Exotic.
Of course. Yeah. Well, it's not surprising. Now, Joe's tune did change as soon as the Trump term was over. The deadline passed, no pardon came, and then he scorched the earth on Trump.
Oh.
His official statement was, I was too innocent and too gay to deserve a pardon from Trump.
Too gay, huh?
Too gay.
Well,
apparently.
All right.
Apparently, maybe in his final moments as president, Donald Trump wrote him a letter. You are too gay. No pardon for you.
Trump
You're fired.
Well, luckily for the Tiger King, and hey, you know what? Maybe for the hair and makeup people, maybe they'll have something to do. There's a rainbow flag flying above the White House now. Huh. Because the new Moron Administration has found plenty of time in their first week to cram a limp-wristed litany of LGBTP lunacy into place. So maybe a Joe Exotic pardon, and I'm just floating this out there. Biden people, if you're listening and you want to take this idea, I think it would be hilarious. I think it would go really great with all the rest of the bullshit you're doing right now. Joe Exotic, Secretary of the Interior.
Oh, wow.
Maybe. Good appointment, right? Because after all, Biden has chosen a mentally ill, overweight, biological male who identifies as a woman to be his new Assistant Health Secretary. So why not?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It's science, really. I mean,
they believe in science. We actually talked about this weirdo before. So this is Rachel Levine. He's the trans man or trans woman. I always get it mixed up. I can't remember what I'm supposed to call him when it was a man and then now it's a woman. But like, this is a guy, he's like 50 something years old. He's only been pretending to be a woman since like 2011. And that's one thing. It's his own business, I guess. But what bothers me more is this guy was the Secretary of Health in Pennsylvania, and he forced all the COVID patients into nursing homes, and then he took his own parents out because he didn't want them to die, and then thousands of people died. So he can't even get his own brain in order, but then he's killing people.
I mean, you gotta say, if at the end of the day, the thing I hate more than anything else, the thing I really have no tolerance for at all, stupidity.
Yeah.
Incompetence. It's why we do what we do, folks. And this is sheer hypocritical incompetence. I mean, he clearly couldn't get the job done. He couldn't keep the people in his state safe. He couldn't keep them healthy. But now he's going to be helping the country to do the same exact thing? And don't love it.
Yeah, but it's all like, they're just making it it's virtue signaling. They're like, hey, look, everybody, we care about the trans thing. We found a guy that's a trans man or a trans woman, and we put him in an important position, even though he's verifiably incompetent, and he's got a death count. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Like, with everything else that's going on in the country right now, they found time to do a bunch of other weird legislation. So they've got this new executive order that's forcing all schools that receive federal funding to allow men that identify as women to compete in women's sports. Sorry, but, like, that's gonna fuck up women's sports.
I mean, that's not important. What's important is equity.
Yeah.
And if women have to be injured and women have to compete unfairly look, some people are just more equal than others. Right?
I think I can go and do like I can go be a heavyweight in women's wrestling right now, and I can go get a scholarship.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll go to UF or something.
It's important to remember, folks, that now we're all being judged based on how oppressed the liberals perceive us to be. So if you happen to be a straight white male, prepare to be crushed, because that's equal. That's prepare
to throw a wig on, throw some lipstick on, and just tell everybody your name's Rachel.
Honestly, it's your only hope.
Yeah. And they'll also let you into the bathrooms. And yeah. Anyway, before we go way off the rails, we're getting a call here. So.
Oh, perfect. I'll pick this one up. All right. Area code 303. You're on with the War on Morons. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, hi. This is Little Betty Bo Peep in Littleton, Colorado. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. Betty?
Yeah. Hi. My mommy said it's okay that I can call a show. Am I on the radio?
Yeah, you are. Well, you're on a podcast. What made you decide to call in today?
Well, I thought it would be nice to talk to everybody and say that what Biden and Harris are doing to help the people in the trans community is good, and if you don't like it, then it's hate speech.
Okay, that's an awfully strong opinion for you to. You sound awfully old for your age.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. How old are you?
I'm 6 years old.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Where did you get your political opinions from?
I just thought that it would be nice if people like me could be free to be who we identify as and not be judged by haters. And I'm glad that that's how it is now. And in America now, and it's good.
Well, listen, I mean, everybody should be free to do what they want. I mean, I have no problem with that. What we were really talking about was the fact that this Rachel Levine isn't good at her job.
Rachel Levine is an inspiration to a lot of little girls like me. And, that's what I say a lot of times, when I'm in the beauty pageant and, when they say, hey, little Betty Bo Peep, who's your role model? Who's your hero? Sometimes I say, it's Rachel Levine, Dr. Rachel Levine. She's a role model to millions of people just like me. Because, I was saying, just a couple weeks ago, I was just a ugly old, I was just an ugly old, fat, 47-year-old man.
What?
Today, I'm the prettiest 6-year-old girl in all of Colorado. And last week I won the pageant.
Back a minute. You're 47 years old?
I don't think you heard me. I'm a 6-year-old girl.
But a week ago you were what?
It doesn't matter because I identify as a 6-year-old girl, and my name is Betty Bo Peep now, and I compete in beauty pageants, and next month I hope to be Little Miss USA. It's going to be wonderful.
This is highly disturbing. You're competing against actual 6-year-old girls in a beauty
and I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. I'm working on a new routine for the talent competition. It's a song. Can I practice it on you?
Oh, God, this is creepy as hell.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Don't mind me if my berries pop out.
Okay, you know what? This is... Whoa. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Did I tell you that I won? I'm Little Miss Colorado, and if you don't like that, then I will be contacting my attorney, and I will be reporting your transphobic ways. You wouldn't be transphobic, would you? Because that would be a violation of the American Civil Liberties Act.
What the... So I'm sorry, your balls are hanging out in the middle of these beauty pageants with 6-year-old children? That's not appropriate. I don't care how you identify.
Look, don't body shame me. And don't
shaming. It's still illegal.
Don't dead body me either. I do not have balls just because I used to have a scrotum. I no longer identify that I have a scrotum. Look, do 6-year-old girls that you know have a scrotum?
Jesus Christ! What the fuck kind of question is that?
Well, I'm asking you because I'm trying to determine how much I'm going to sue you for.
Do you have a scrotum? How about that? Do you?
Well, maybe I did in 2020.
I mean, I don't understand why you'd be singing about it if you didn't, it's not appropriate to be singing about it at a children's beauty pageant. I don't care if you have one or you don't, or they do or they don't. You shouldn't be singing about it. That's like the whole issue here is that you shouldn't really be at a children's beauty pageant because you're not a child.
It seems to me that you're judging me and that you're judging my people. And I don't think that you're in a position to tell me what I should or what I should do or to say what is or what isn't appropriate.
Okay, well, I mean...
It sounds like you might be a little turfy. Sounds like you might be a little turfy if you ask me.
What the hell's turfy?
Well, you're going to find out from my lawyer and maybe the police.
I didn't think I'd ever say this, but that was scarier than Dr. Ding Dong.
What in the... Okay, I mean... hey, he's a champion.
He's scared now. I'm terrified of this person.
Those beauty pageants, beauty pageants are weird as is. Child beauty pageants are really fucking weird as is. But can you... Some fucking 40-year-old man...
I think I'm going to say it. TLC has been getting too much out of 90 Day Fiancé. They need to bring back toddlers and tiaras.
Toddlers, tiaras, and trans men.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I think that should mark the end of the politics blog today with a very, very firm exclamation point.
Yes.
Because I don't know about you and everybody in the audience, but I've had my fair share. So what do you say we get into some stupid criminals action?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
All right. So, let's see. For our first story, well, hey, stupid criminals, I can't think of a better place to start than Chicago. Where a guy stole a tow truck last week, then called 911 because the owner of the truck pulled a gun on him.
I would love to hear that dispatch call. Like, hey, 911, I have an emergency. I was doing a carjacking and this citizen defended his property against me.
Right, like try that in Florida, like, yeah, well, I hope they shot you. Bye. But of course, because this is in Chicago, Illinois, and it's because it's the Midwestern capital of the moron world. If you can believe it, this dude got to avoid jail time.
What?
Yeah, all because he called the cops on himself.
You know what?
Basically, I mean,
it's Chicago, like you said. I mean, this guy will probably get shot on his way to McDonald's tomorrow, so he'll get what he deserves.
Just a, municipal hazard around there.
At least then it'll be fair.
Yeah. You just get shot. Just walking down the street, you just get shot.
See, what he has a problem with is that this motherfucker pulled a gun on him when he was just trying to make his way in the world.
Right.
And that's not fair. Now, if he gets shot by some act of random violence, at least, they can write a rap song about him one day. Yeah.
Great pizza, though. Great pizza, decent hot dogs. They've got that going for them. But yeah, you'll probably get shot.
All right. Well, anyway, since you brought up Grand Theft Auto, an Oregon man was in the middle of committing one when he decided to change his evil ways and lecture somebody else about their parenting skills instead.
It's a really random sentence. Like when he's just like on his way, like he's just like Saul of Damascus, just like, I'm just doing robberies and suddenly just decide I'm going to be Dr. Spock and just teach people about parenting.
I know, right?
What the fuck?
All of a sudden he turned into Super Nanny. I mean, you'd think it was a little random, but in this case, it's actually not random at all. See, the car thief saw an SUV in a grocery store parking lot with its engine running and was halfway down the road before he realized there was a whole-ass toddler sitting in the back seat.
I like how you went from point A to point C. Like, he saw an SUV in the grocery store. The engine was running.
Yep.
And he didn't even think about it. It's just like, the engine's running. I'm not even going to be like, should I take that car? Might it be a bait car? It's just like, oh shit, engine running. Oh, next thing I know, I'm driving in the car. You got to give it to him. Oregon, yeah.
I mean, he did this. I think he had a moment of, I didn't sign up for kidnapping charges. So he turned the car around, brought it back to its parking space, found the owner, and chewed her out about the dangers of leaving kids in unattended cars.
I mean, I'm just going to say it. The Portland Mandalorian sounds fucking weird.
The car thief actually threatened to call the police on this woman.
That you fucked up as a mother when some street thug has a better moral compass than you. Could you imagine, you just run into the grocery store to, buy a sandwich?
I actually can't imagine leaving my child unattended in a running car. No, I can't imagine that.
I'm just going to be right back. Just, don't get in any trouble. I'm going to leave the air conditioning on. I'll leave Radio Disney on. I'll be right back.
I wouldn't do that to a dog.
But and the thief's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You goddamn bitch. Do you want your child to end up like me?
I swear, I gotta give it to him.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't say that he has a better moral compass than her.
Why is that?
Well, he did steal the car.
He still stole the car after all this.
Right. He dropped the toddler off with the shitty mom. He was like, here's your kid. I don't want to kidnap him. And then he drove off with the car and left them in the cold. Just when you thought you were on the side of the thief here, right?
Wow.
Twists and turns for days.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm just going to move on. Continuing our theme of people who obviously don't belong behind the wheel and maybe don't belong in society, Jamie Lynn Spears has a bone to pick with Elon Musk.
Really?
Yeah, because her Tesla keeps killing her cats.
What?
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, this has happened more than... is this like a manufacturer's defect? I might have a bone to pick with Elon Musk, too. How is this happening?
I mean, this is hard to follow. So, apparently, according to an Instagram video that she posted last week, which really just highlights the brains gap between the Tesla CEO and, Britney Spears' little sister, she claims that she's lost... I don't want to tell you how many cats, because the electric vehicle doesn't make one of those noises that, like, bother cat or animal ears.
Oh, wait, so the Tesla isn't, like, coming to life and murdering cats. I don't know why I thought...
it's not Christine.
Okay, she's running the cats over with her Tesla.
Yeah.
Many cats.
Like, more than she can count. Like, more than she can list. She's lost count of the cats. She doesn't remember their names.
There's a lot to unpack here. But how many feral cats does Jamie Lynn Spears have living in her driveway? You'd think she has enough money to not have a feral cat colony in there if she doesn't want one.
Is she a crazy cat lady?
She might be.
Like, how old is she? Like, 20?
20-something.
Jesus. And she has dozens of fucking cats. Why not just keep the cats inside your home?
What an idea.
And, like, the best part of all this is it's not even true.
Wait, what?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming the part about the cats being run over is true. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen the dead bodies of the cats, but there's a law in place that electric cars have to emit a certain amount of decibels when traveling beneath a certain speed. So, they're not secret cat killers. Jamie Lynn is.
Well, that does make a lot more sense, actually. I imagine what's happening is she's, like, swerving into the driveway, like, aggressively because she probably, like, was out drinking or something. I mean, it sounds like she has, like, way too much time on her hands. So she's just, like, swerving into the driveway, like, and, like, the cats have nowhere to go because there's, like, 1,000 of them or something. And she's like...
cats can run fast!
And she's like, why didn't my magic Tesla prevent this from happening?
And don't... I mean, sorry, I'm not rich. I don't have a Tesla, but I thought they could, like, park themselves, can't they? Like, don't they have a feature?
Yeah, you would think that they have, like, a whole auto sense, like...
Yeah.
I think you have to be going, like, a pretty good speed to be managing this many times.
But yeah, just get on Instagram and petition the richest man in the world to redesign his product to cover for your drunk driving habit. That seems really logical. Good job, Jamie. Good job.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of a lack of logic, let's just head on over to France.
Oh, boy. What's going on in France this week?
Oh, well, a 58-year-old woman there is embroiled in a 3-year court battle trying to overturn an inaccurate court decision that she is, well, get this, dead. Seems like it would be a pretty open and shut case.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty easy. Like, I mean, I don't know, just show up. Maybe bring some ID,
Well, you'd think. But you'd be banking on the courts being willing to admit to the series of ridiculous legal errors that led them to a ruling that a perfectly living woman is dead in the first place.
Wow, a court not willing to look at overwhelming evidence?
Where have we seen this before?
Like, what is this? Like, America? Like, is this France? Or is this Georgia?
Sadly, being dead isn't as romantic as it's cut out to be in the Anne Rice novels and CW series here. The poor lady sits in her house all day watching all of her property get repossessed because, according to the law, she doesn't exist.
She's really looking at this situation from the wrong angle. You know, like don't worry about what you've lost. Worry about what you've gained. Anonymity. Like,
you could go anywhere.
You can
start
do
a new life.
You can literally get away with anything. You can just slip away into the darkness. You know,
that's how a vampire would do it.
I mean, think about all the people that have faked their own death, and then this lady's just—it's being handed to her on a silver platter. And she's like, "No, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm right here. What do you have? What do you have going for you, lady? What do you really? What do you have going for you in your life that's so fucking wonderful?"
I don't know.
I'm waiting.
It sounds like she had some property that might have been worth something. Maybe she could have sold it if she was still, alive. I would have just showed up as my long-lost daughter. I would have been like, yeah, you're right, I'm dead. By the way, I'm my daughter, and I would like to inherit all of my mom's property and money. Thank you very much.
I would have just done, I would have just started, committing some crimes, and I would have seen if not necessarily something major, I'm not going to go murdering the neighbors or anything like that, but I would have started kind of small, and I would have, seen if they care.
You know what? True. If you're given the gift of anonymity, you truly can't be accused of a crime because you're legally dead, then what is to stop you from robbing a bank?
Yeah, just start small.
Knocking off a convenience store.
Yeah, just see if they pursue you for it.
Anything you've lost can quickly be regained.
Anyway, how's this next one for slipping away into the darkness? This story's out of South Africa. Where a guy got dumped by his live-in girlfriend just to find out the next day that he won the freaking Powerball.
They made a country song about that.
Really?
That is luck, yes.
Awesome. Well, hey, sometimes country songs become reality. This guy won the equivalent of $4 million.
Holy shit.
And he's not just going to blow it because he's a financial professional. He's going to put it into investments, and he's going to keep working because he's expecting a big bonus, which he just found out, at his job.
Holy shit. Is this guy like a warlock or something?
I mean, it doesn't say in the article.
She shouldn't have crossed him.
She fucked up. But the good news for her is it says that he's not going to forget about her, even though she's now his ex-girlfriend. He's going to buy her a washing machine.
What? So wait, he's saying she's dirty?
I don't know exactly. That seems like a really random thing. It's not it's not like.
I'm starting to see why he got dumped. Man wins a $4 million lottery and says, "You know what would be an appropriate gift for you, dear heart? Washing machine.
I'm gonna get you a whirlpool."
I can only imagine what she got for their anniversary. Fucking vacuum cleaner.
Maybe they kept getting in an argument because he wouldn't do the laundry.
Maybe some nice dishwashing gloves.
I could see it if it said hey, he's gonna break her off $10,000, no hard feelings. But he was very specific. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get her a washing machine. Yeah, I think that's something that could have, she'll appreciate that in her new life.
Jesus, how funny would it be if they broke up because they kept fighting about the appliances? The appliances were wonky, and she was like, "You need to buy a new washing machine," and he was like, "It's fine, I just have to kick it every once in a while."
Right, I'm trying to save up, and we've got our goals. We're trying to make a good life together. We can't afford. We've got a perfectly good washing machine.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we're getting a call here. Area code 405.
All right. Well, anything's got to be better than the last call, so I'll just take it. Hello, caller. You're on with the Moron Morons. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Dr. Larry from Oklahoma City. And before we get into it, I just want to say it is nice to meet you.
Dr. Larry, we've met.
Look, woman, you're in radio. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. You know a gimmick when you hear one, don't you? I mean, you people got the stupid voices, or you pretend people call in and all that.
That's really stuffing. Come on, what the hell?
I'm just saying. When I say it, it's nice to meet you. I don't really mean it's nice to meet you. I don't care if I meet any of these people. Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, you take that out of post. I was actually calling because that last story, it really kind of tickled my heart a little bit because lately I've been doing a lot of relationship counseling, couple counseling. Of course, everybody out there knows me, Dr. Larry. I've got my number one talk show out of Oklahoma. I do radio psychology, and lately I've been helping a lot of couples cope with the changing landscape out there. And I got to say, I think I could have helped those two before they got in that situation they found themselves in.
Wow, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like they probably could have used you, to be honest.
I mean, a little laundry machine, a washing machine, and now the one fella, he's going to turn into the Monopoly man, and then the other one's going to be Aunt Jemima. She's going to be out there washing clothes on the side of the road.
I mean, I don't know about that. Maybe she has a job and stuff too. I mean, who knows?
She's gonna be on the side of the road. She's not gonna be worth a penny, but at least she's gonna have a washing machine. I mean, how's she even gonna plug it in? Can you riddle me this? How's she gonna plug it in?
I mean, it's a good question.
She can't, and because she lost her man. If you lose your man, then you ain't even a woman. That's what I've been telling these people. You know, they come to me for relationship advice. What?
You tell people if they lose their man, they're not even a woman?
That's right. I tell them, if you lose your man, you're not gonna be able to feed yourself. You're not gonna be able to clothe yourself. You might as well just eat a gun.
What is wrong with you? That's so false and offensive.
Well, I mean, a woman without a man. I mean, that's. I could list a bunch of analogies, but I mean, really, we don't have that much time for that. I know you got to get to your next segment.
Yeah,
Let's just say.
Us.
All right, yeah. I could. It's like steak without potatoes. It's like chicken without mashed potatoes. It's like a burger without French fries.
It's all just without potatoes. So you're saying men are potatoes?
No. Come on, woman. No, the women are the potatoes. The men bring the meat.
I got a lot of problems with you, Dr. Larry, but this just takes the cake.
Well, no, I mean, the cake, I guess you could say women bring the cake as well. You know, a lot of people out there, you know, that's actually a colloquialism. The cake, you know, cake
Stop
actually.
it, Dr. Larry, no, don't talk about cake. No.
Well, I mean, we're saying that the men bring the meat, the women bring the cake. And that's something I could actually talk about on my next episode of It's Okay with Dr. Larry. Meat and cake. So, you know, you can tune in, you can listen to me. Oklahoma City, broadcasting all over the world. But yeah, you know, I just thought I'd call in and give you a little taste of my relationship advice. What do you think?
I shudder to think of what you're actually going to advise people, but you know what? Fine. Might as well just expose yourself here a little bit and tell people what
you know, that reminds me. I actually had a fella call me the other day. He's been having a problem exposing himself. He got into this situation the other day at a playground, and I told him, look, if you feel the need to let yourself go, it's all right. Let it flop in the wind. Nobody's going to stop you. This is America.
What?
Well, apparently he got in a bit of trouble.
Playground, he'll get arrested, and he probably deserves it.
Well, I didn't know there were going to be children involved. I don't know the whole circumstances behind these things.
It's a playground, Dr. Larry.
Well, I didn't know. How am I supposed to know? There's a COVID going on right now. What kind of parents gonna let their kids on a playground when there's a COVID going around? I thought maybe it'd be an abandoned playground.
You know, that's not really relationship advice. That's just terrible advice.
It could be relationship advice. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they hook up at playgrounds.
What?
Crackheads, for instance. Crackheads love getting it on at playgrounds. Yeah. Many a crackhead.
You're making my head hurt, Dr. Larry.
Well, you know, Dr. Larry's out there. You know, if anybody needs some advice, It's only $2.95 a minute. We're doing a discount right now. If you're out there, if you want to get advice for $1.99 a minute, that's a whole, what's that, 96 cents off?
Yeah, just think of how many crack rocks you can buy if you're struggling in your relationship after saving 96 cents a minute by calling Dr. Larry.
Thank you. What an endorsement. That endorsed by Anissa from the Moron Show. Go ahead and call 1-900-ITS-OK. That's ITSOKAY. Crackheads welcome. Junkies welcome. Slashers welcome. If you got problems, I'm here to solve them. It's okay. Nice to meet you.
I don't know about that guy. Where does he get his advice from exactly?
People pay that man for his advice.
I don't think that they do. I'm not convinced.
Apparently they do. Anyway, speaking of paying, we've got to pay some bills. I've got a commercial lined up here, and no comment on it. Let's just roll the tape.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hey kids, have you been hearing your mom and dad say mean things about President Biden? Yeah, and Vice President Kamala Harris? Do they not want to get the vaccine to keep everybody safe? Or even wear their mask? Do you hear them use bad words like patriot, constitution, liberty, or stolen election? Did they vote for Donald Trump? Or worse, do they think he won? It sounds like they might be a little stressed out. Wouldn't it be great if you could give them a nice trip to camp? Who says camp is just for kids? Send your parents off to Camp Re-Education. It's a fun surprise of a lifetime that they'll never forget. We've got fun, games, arts and crafts, and more. And best of all, while they're away, you'll get the house all to yourself. Think about it. No more homework and never eat another vegetable again. So call 1-800-CAMP-FUN today and put mom and dad on the train to Camp Re-Education.
Okay, I have a lot of questions. One, how could you think that was a good idea? Two, how could you think that was a good idea?
Okay, here's the thing. They came to us, right?
I'm sure they did.
Do you want to end up in Camp Re-Education? Because I don't.
Let me ask you this. How did they pay you?
I mean, they PayPal'd me.
Thank God. I was afraid you were going to say they mailed us a check, then they'd have our address.
They know everything, these people.
Then why would they think that advertising this on our show was a good idea? I'm telling you, they're sending us a message.
Probably. You guys know what's coming. I mean, secure your homes.
At least they'll have arts and crafts.
Jesus Christ. Let's just move on. Let's try to erase the last 2 minutes from our minds.
Okay, sounds good. All right, the next story I have is about this is a fun one. Okay. A California man who claimed to be too afraid to fly due to COVID-19 hid out for 3 months in a secured area of O'Hare International Airport until his arrest last weekend.
So he went through the security checkpoint or whatever.
Yeah.
But before it was time to board, he had a sudden revelation. And hold up, wait a minute. That plane might have coronavirus on it.
Ding, ding, ding.
I better just sit my ass in this crowded terminal for the next 12 weeks. Like, that's a great idea.
Pretty much. Except it says he is being charged with felony criminal trespass to a restricted area, so he might have found a slightly less crowded place.
So he wasn't necessarily just in the terminal.
Right.
So, makes you think of that Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah. No.
Tom Hanks again. But
he found himself a little hidey hole somewhere.
Yeah, like the airport troll.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was in the captain's lounge, But I don't know, maybe this is a crazy idea, but, like, I don't know, why not just leave the airport? Maybe go to the rental car counter, drive home, you know, you're in Chicago, buddies, you know, take Route 66, you'll be in LA in like 3 days, you know, see the USA in your Chevrolet.
I mean, you know, that's one way that a normal person might have handled it. I mean, I know I personally don't even like when I have a layover.
Right.
But this guy decided to pick up a felony, stretching one into a quarter of a year. So, you know, good job, guy.
And he probably, like, spent all of his savings doing it, too. Like, you mentioned, like, a layover at an airport. You go to an airport and you want to buy a piece of pizza. It's like $13. You know?
Yeah, like, what
they gouge you. You know, they've got you.
You know what? They said he was trespassing in a, like, restricted area. He probably found a way to, like, break into, like, the back rooms of, like, Auntie Anne's pretzels or something.
he was just like, eating the fucking discarded Sbarro crust.
They probably thought they had, like, a giant rodent problem until one day they show up and they were like, who is this man who hasn't bathed in 3 months?
Oh, it's a guy that's afraid of getting dirty.
Oh, God.
Afraid of getting a disease. Anyway, speaking of, if that guy thinks that COVID is killing his good time, the 700 plus residents of Brooklyn, New York sex houses are
Brooklyn, New York's what now?
Yeah, the Brooklyn, New York sex houses.
Haha.
Yeah, that's a thing now.
Okay, didn't think that was legal, but you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, so they're expressing their frustration about the ongoing pandemic killing their orgies.
I know. I mean, I've heard a lot about this gentrification stuff, but gotta say, did you just say sex orgies?
Yeah, I mean, Brooklyn. Like, what the fuck happened to Brooklyn?
They have sex houses and orgies, and this is like a complaint that they're lodging with the public. That they're like,
they've got, like, the hipsters have created sex houses now. Like, the gentrification has reached that, like, it's late stage, just straight up bacchanalias. Like, so apparently, this story's out of the New York Post. Apparently all the sex addicts up there, they've moved in together. They're living in these fucking communes. They host these massive orgies every other weekend. All of this came crashing down in 2020 due to the coronavirus.
You know, it might be like a great time to do something about your insane sex addiction. Just a thought.
One quote from the article from one of these degenerates. In 2019, I had more than 100 lovers.
Holy fuck!
Last year, it was more like 5. I'm having trouble coping.
Buddy, I think you can move on to counting your STDs. You probably have like 100 of those.
Right? Like, somebody should show these guys. Like, they're scared of the coronavirus. They're scared of the coronavirus. They're scared of the coronavirus, and yet you live in a sex house. You live in an orgy house. Like, your apartment is an orgy house. Like, somebody should show these guys the infection and the survival rates for COVID versus, like, I don't know, HIV/AIDS.
Oh, my God. I mean, you know, if you think there was a group of people who could look past the hysteria and, like, you know, the whole germy parts of life, it would be these guys, right?
You'd think.
You would really think.
But, you know, nothing gratifies like virtue signaling.
Well, as the Brooklyn sex houses wait for their return to normalcy, maybe there's a product that can help them at least smell like home.
Smell like... Jesus Christ, where is this going?
Okay, well, we're going to Gwyneth Paltrow's online shop, Goop, of course. Remember a while back when we covered her $75 candle called...
I almost forgot about fucking Gwyneth Paltrow's online shop, Goop. I almost forgot. And then...
It's still out there.
Yeah, her candle. What was it called again?
It was called This Smells Like My Vagina.
Yeah, I mean, because who wouldn't want to spend $75 to burn a candle that smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's fucking snatch.
Maybe if you've gone from 100 lovers to 5, you might just be craving it. Now, the Sun is reporting that a 50-year-old London woman's home caught fire.
It would be a 50-year-old woman in London burning something like this.
No.
She probably has enough cats that she wouldn't miss them if her Tesla ran one over.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Well, the problem really wasn't the fact that she lit a candle, vagina scented or otherwise. The problem was that the candle fucking exploded.
So they're time bombs that smell like Gwyneth Paltrow's snatch.
I mean, that's what's that song? I'm your cherry bomb?
Oh,
Gives
Jesus.
it a whole new meaning, right?
I mean, I don't think anybody expected people to buy this, let alone light it.
I mean, yeah. Apparently, the 50-centimeter flame leapt out of the candle and bits flew everywhere, almost burning her entire house down.
That's what she gets, honestly.
I mean, look, if she didn't buy it, you gotta give her some credit. She didn't buy it. She actually won the candle as a prize.
And what a fucking prize. Like, can you imagine, I don't know what kind of contest that she entered, but can you imagine winning that? I'd be just thrilled.
Honestly, they should change the name of the candle, and they should create a new honest Taylor Swift song with the title.
What's that?
This smells like my vagina and burns your house to the ground. It's an accurate title for the candle, and I think it sounds like something Taylor Swift should do. Would do. Not should do, but would do.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, speaking of stupid products that don't make any sense, a London-based company called Zelp has invented face masks for cows.
Whoa, okay.
And it has nothing to do with COVID or Calvin. These are supposed to reduce climate change by...
Okay, I know we're supposed to make fun of other people's stupidity on this show, but I just have to say, you're talking about a COVID mask for cows.
That would be stupid, yeah.
I heard face mask, and I thought they were creating beauty products for cows, like a face mask. I was really thinking this was dumb. That almost sounds normal compared to what I was
picturing. In this day and age, you might want to apply for a patent. Some idiot out there is going to buy that. But no, this is something entirely different than both of those. This is designed to combat climate change by capturing the methane from cattle burps.
Oh my God! I mean that wow, my brain just broke. Okay, so apparently that's a real problem that actually exists,
yep.
Huh?
Yeah, farmers out there, equip your livestock with fucking face masks, because it's not enough. It's not enough to put face masks on all the people for no good reason. Stop your cows from burping. Bovine burps make the temperatures go up.
Can you imagine selling this product to ranchers, calling up ranchers, and having to be the salesperson who says, "Sir, have you thought about how your cow's burping affects climate change?" What I get from this story, above all else, is that Greta Thunberg's yelling at the wrong people. The next time they're going to trot her out in front of the UN or whatever, they need to put her in a cow pasture instead.
That's actually an idea I can get behind. Throwing her in a cow pasture. The cows are just out there just chewing their cud, minding their own business, just burping, farting. And then Greta Thunberg's out there just lecturing them. How dare you! You're killing the earth! You're stealing my future with your farting and your burping! Put a mask on!
Oh my God.
Fuck you, Bessie! You're ruining my life!
Okay, we got one more story to get through here. I don't know how we're going to top that one, but we'll give it a try, because we're going from one cattle byproduct to another.
If that's a fancy way of saying bullshit, We already did the politics blog.
Okay.
I don't want to get into that shit again.
It was actually a fancy way of saying magic mushrooms.
Magic mushroom.
Apparently they grow in cow poop.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay.
There's a segue for you.
All right. Let's talk about magic mushrooms.
For our last story of the night, we go to Arizona, where psychedelic mushrooms grew in a man's veins, which would probably kill you, after he injected them in some kind of weird, fucked up drug experiment.
So he had mushrooms growing out of his body?
This is going to be an obscure reference, but if anybody's ever played Grim Fandango, it kind of reminds me of that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it says right here that he decided to boil them down into a tea, which, I guess you could do, and then intravenously inject it.
Look, if you have eaten so many magic mushrooms that you've got to start shooting them up because they don't have the same effect anymore, you might be eating too many mushrooms. I'm just...
Right. I mean, don't you think if you could inject magic mushrooms, someone would have started doing that by now?
And you know what? There's got to be an innovator. Somebody's got to be the first one to do it.
Don't you think that people have done enough drugs that they could have figured out whether that would work, buddy?
Hey, there was a first guy to shoot up heroin. And I'm sure that his name is plastered up on a wall somewhere.
Look how well that turned out. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, soon after he did this, he developed symptoms that included lethargy, jaundice, diarrhea, and nausea, along with vomiting up blood.
Yeah, but I bet he was tripping balls, man.
I mean, I would hope so, because he had to do something to pass the time. He spent a month in the hospital.
Like, I don't know, if you're gonna... So he boiled it down into a tea, right?
Yeah.
Why not just drink it? Drink the mushroom tea.
Well, now you know the mushroom man.
On that note, we're getting a call on line 1. And I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, God, what? This isn't even a number. It's just like symbols? What?
I don't... How are they even doing this? I guess I'll pick it up.
Okay.
All right, hello, caller. Thanks for calling the War on Morons. Are you there?
Oh, yes! Perry Winkle is here, and there, and everywhere!
Oh, what?
Perry Winkle, yes! I'm calling from the Mushroom Kingdom! I am a mystical forest mage, and I can see all worlds in all timelines forever!
Are you okay, man? You sound a little out of it.
Oh, I was calling because I was very upset with Jonah. You were just talking about him. He is used to buying his magical mushrooms from me, which my mushrooms are infused with my wizard powers, and that makes it so that you can inject them and they're perfectly safe. But normal magic mushrooms, they're cheaper, yes, but no, you cannot inject them. That is why he was cursed with mushroom blood.
Okay, so are you like a drug dealer or something, dude?
No, Perry Winkle only deals in the protections of dark magic, yes. Only with Perry Winkle's magic mushrooms can you be immunized from the forces of evil. You will see them all, coming at you from all angles, but you would have the power to stop it, the power to overturn evil into good, yay!
And this is something that you inject, like with a syringe?
Yes, it is very safe. In fact, everyone should be vaccinated against the forces of dark evil with my magic mushrooms.
Well, how does this compare with like the coronavirus vaccine?
Oh, it's very safe. Perry Winkle has been doing it for 937 years.
Well, shit. That's almost 1,000 years. I guess sign me up. Can I get it at Walgreens?
Not yet. You can only get it by coming to Perry Winkle's Mushroom Emporium, just on the left of the Universe's Starship. Goodbye.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That on that note, I really don't think there's anywhere else that we can go today.
I mean, maybe Narcotics Anonymous? I don't know.
Before we get put on any list or taken off any more streams, don't do anything that guy just said.
Don't do anything any of the people who called into this show said, or did, or anything that we covered in these stories. This is a cautionary show.
Yes.
You should not be doing anything that we cover on our show at all.
Never end up on these airwaves.
Except following us on social media. That you should do.
Yes, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week for episode 66.
Brother, you better get down on your knees and pay $1,000.